For the first time in quite some time, the New York Knicks have a real chance at competing for an NBA championship, and they better build a statue of Jalen Brunson right now. They have the best defensive, or I should say two-way wing duo in the NBA, and Abunoby and now Mikal Bridges. Jalen Brunson takes that huge pay cut. Begin the building of that statue right now. Now, Mikal Bridges has also said he will be willing to take a pay cut. We'll see if that actually comes to fruition. OG, he took all the money. He got like $250 million. But there's the big trade, the Woj bomb that came in right before the NBA draft. And I cannot wait to see this new look Knicks team because, hey, they are built on the power of friendship, baby, and they are going to win a good amount of games. A bunch of Villanova guys, led by, of course, Jalen Brunson, who has blossomed into an NBA megastar. When this guy is healthy, when he's on point, he cannot be stopped, even though he's 6'2". Of course, you have the two wings. They're to rival the other New England team up there in Boston with, I guess, New York's New England, right? Wasn't really a geography guy. We just talk hoops. They also get Julius Randle back. Now, you can hide Jalen Brunson on defense now with this lineup because of the fact that you now have Mikal Bridges, you have OG, you have Dante DiVincenzo and Josh Hart, of course. Now, Isaiah Hartenstein is gone, so I'm assuming Mitchell Robinson steps in to become the new center, and the rumors were true. Hartenstein did end up going to the Oklahoma City Thunder, and that's a big loss for the Knicks. He did a lot for them, especially in the playoffs with the absence of Mitchell Robinson. The numbers don't look like it from the regular season because he only started for half the year after Robinson got hurt, but he was huge for them. Great defender, or good defender, not great. 64% shooting from the field. He was an above average passer for a big as well, and a great offensive rebounder, among other things. Per 36, he averaged 11, 12, and 1.6 blocks per game, so he definitely will be missed in New York, but they just could not match the offer that OKC was putting out there. OKC ended up giving him like 87, 88, 89 million, depending on if all the guarantees kick in, and then New York could only offer 72 million, so it makes sense, but they now have the best defensive wing duo in the NBA, the best two-way wing duo, I should say. We can say that with confidence. You have OG, who averaged 14.5 points, 4 rebounds, on 49% shooting from the field, 36% from 3 on 5 attempts last year for New York. And once they brought OG in, I mean, their defense was just on another level. Tibbs was cooking. 1.7 steals, 1 blocks. He got 5 years, $213 million. I believe I said 250 earlier. He got 215 is what I meant to say. And of course, when you give up this much in a trade to bring a guy in, you better capitalize and bring him in long term. Almost 40% from 3 last year. That's what you like to see from a guy in OG Anunoby, that if he can shoot, he's going to be a very, very valuable asset in the modern NBA. And then you bring in Mikal Bridges, who the numbers won't look like this next year. They will definitely take a step down because he'll probably be at least the second option, maybe the third. But he averaged 19.6 points, 4.5 rebounds, and a few assists there last year in Brooklyn. 44% shooting from the field, 37% from 3 on 7 attempts. But, I mean, we can see, what he has done off the ball and with the Phoenix days. 2 years, $48 million for Mikal, and the Brooklyn Nets got a load for him. He's got 2 years, 48 left on that contract, but I feel 100% certain that he will resign. He's with all his boys. There's no reason for him to leave. So yeah, the best two-way duo in the league. Mikal standing at 6'6" with a 7'1" wingspan. The length that they have on the wings now. I mean, I'd love to see OG and Mikal Bridges versus Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. That is going to be so much fun to watch. That's probably an Eastern Conference Finals preview because I'm not a Sixers believer. But OG at 6'7" with a 7'2" wingspan. Of course, you can hide Jalen Brunson with all this length, all this athleticism. You talk about the East. You also have, maybe the Bucks. The Bucks have a good revamped team, but I'm still rocking with the Knicks. I love this Knicks team. Now, Brunson's only 6'2" with a 6'4" wingspan, but he's still the number one option, no matter what. The display that he put on, the absolute masterclass that he put on this year in the playoffs, averaged 28.7 points, 6.7 assists, and 3.6 rebounds over the regular season. In the playoffs, he was even better. 48% shooting from the field, 40% from 3 in the regular season. But during that Eastern Conference semifinals run, he was absolutely electric. He was putting Andrew Nembhard through quite a tough time. And he can be unguardable at times when he gets on those heaters. He was a free over on Prize Picks. I learned that the hard way when I kept taking the under. And like, well, no way this dude's scoring 37 points. But hey, he kept burning me. So shout out Jalen Brunson. With that being said, let's take a break here. Make sure to like button, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button if you are enjoying today's video at any point. As you can see here, a large majority of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. So if that is you, go ahead and fix that. Also, we're aiming for about 200 likes on today's video. So if you could help us out with that, it'd be greatly appreciated. Now let's talk about the rest of the friend group. Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, both of these guys, of course, from Villanova. Josh Hart on that podcast with Jalen Brunson is actually pretty funny. But Dante DiVincenzo is one of the most underrated hoopers in the NBA. 15.5 points, 3.7 rebounds, 2.7 assists per game last year for the Knicks. 44% shooting from the field, 40% from three, 9 attempts. Another guy that burned me a little bit in the playoffs last year on Prize Picks. He's also a great defender at the two-guard position. Really like him there. And then, of course, you have his buddy Josh Hart, who is the best sub-6'5 rebounder in the NBA. Not a debate about it. 9.4 points per game, 8.3 rebounds, 4.1 assists, and 1 steal per game for him last year in the regular season. And in the playoffs, he was obviously a huge part, making big shots. Just, being the ultimate glue guy. Always being there in the right spot to make the right play. 44% shooting from the field. We won't talk about the three-point percentage. But overall, Josh Hart, nice piece for this Knicks team. A guy that you just can't take off the court. Unlimited motor. Now, the big question becomes, what happens with Julius Randle? This is the ideal lineup, I feel like, in my opinion, for this Knicks team. However, you can make a case for putting Randle at the 5 and going small. You could also make a case for playing mikal at the 2, and then OG at the 3, Randle at the 4, like we see right here. Both of those are very good options. And again, people forget about Randle, but you can't. He's a big piece here in New York. He only got to play 46 games last year due to injury, but 24 points a game, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Those stats just cannot be simply thrown out. Now, one thing I do have an issue with is the fact that he's shooting 31% from 3, yet continues to shoot 5 a game. He's making 3 every 2 games, despite the fact that he's shooting 10 every 2 games. That's not good at all. We got to cut down on those threes, but overall, I think Julius Randle deserves and will have a spot in that rotation, maybe even starting next year. Now, the draft. I loved the draft for the Knicks. They got a guy from France. Not sure how to say his name, but he'll be overseas for a year. He's a drafting stash. They get Tyler Kolek at 34, trade back up for him. Love this pick right here. Just a Knicks pick overall, just a Tibbs pick, actually. 15.3 points, 7.5 assists, 5 rebounds, just controls the game like someone. He controls the game like a rookie should not be able to. 50% from the field, 39% from 3. He can knock down the 3 ball. He can get inside. Great floater game. Just overall a great piece for this Knicks team, and I think he could actually contribute as a second-round pick. And then you also have Kevin McCullough Jr. taken late in the second round, but he's a guy that he was one of the best offensive and defensive players in the Big 12, which was probably the best conference in college basketball last year. Definitely, I think, can have a spot. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like button and hit that subscribe button if you are enjoying it at any point. We're trying to hit 200 likes on today's video. And with that being said, thanks so much for watching today's video.